Buddy Bryan Alvarez here on Wrestling Observer Live. We are here every day, Monday through Friday, noon Pacific 3 Eastern, Sundays 3 Pacific 6 Eastern, Saturday mornings with Jim Valley, 10 a.m. Pacific 1 Eastern, Sundays with Andrew Zarian. And it is Monday here on the show, and you know what that means? Boy, do we got a lot to talk about here today. Boy, do we ever. Well, we had 2 nights of SummerSlam, and the first night was... It was there, you know. There were some good matches and some not so good matches, and it was kind of boring and it was long. It actually wasn't that long, but like there was so much downtime that it felt longer than it was. And then we had night 2, which on paper looked like a significantly better show. And, you know, it was. There was like a good opening match and a great ladder match, and, you know, there was kind of a lull there in the middle. But then we had a great John Cena-Cody Rhodes match. And then when it was over, Cody Rhodes won the title. And whose music should hit but Brock Lesnar? And Brock Lesnar came down to the ring, and the fans went wild. And he gave John Cena an F5, and that's how the show went off the air. And he's back. So, obviously, a lot of questions we have to talk about here today involving old Brock Lesnar, and we'll get into all of the rest of the news as well. If you want to text us, 425-780-7566. That is 425-780-7566, F4WOnline@gmail.com. F4W Online, Threads, Instagram, and Cameo at Bryan Alvarez, X, and Blue Sky. Back in a moment, Observer Live. Just a quick note before this free video. If you click like and subscribe, I'd be very thankful. What was up with this week? Everyone thinking Monday was Tuesday.
Well, that was just
Everyone?
you, sir.
Yeah, well, I mean, when it happened, it was like I got all these people that were messaging me going, my God, I thought it was Tuesday too today. It was like something happened with like the moon or something, and it caused everybody to think that Monday was Tuesday. You know what I'm saying?
No.
It's like, God, am I losing it?
Yes.
Have you ever lost something and gave up all hope before finding it in an obvious place?
Yeah, my mind. I went to go make her the quesadilla, and I opened up the pantry, and there's no tortillas. I looked down on the ground, and there's the package that they used to be in. But there's no tortillas. So I call Hanale over, and she says, well, I didn't know how to close the bag.
Uh-oh.
So I put them all in a box of light bulbs. I said, why did you put them in a box with light bulbs? Swear to God, she goes, if that box is good enough for light bulbs, it's good enough for tortillas. And I said, no, that's not worse. I open the box, these tortillas are hard as a rock.
She is so your daughter.
Crumbling to dust.
It's insane.
God.
I lost my wallet at the Alamo Dome. The next day, I got a call from an usher that he found it. When I met up with him, everything was still in it. He refused to accept any money from me.
Wow.
Wow. I once lost my wallet in El Segundo.
Lantian says Big Dave's sanity.
Wow.
Well, I mean, he found it then. It's right there. It's never lost.
99% of the time, no matter where I park, I always know exactly where it is. But there's always that 1% of the time where is my car?
Dude.
And it's like in a bizarre place. Like, what was going on? All right, Granny, what do we got?
We need to buy you a machine that you speak into, and it converts your voice into text.
Oh, my God.
So you don't have to write it down anymore.
Absolutely not.
And then I think even better, we put that text into a text-to-voice app and have it read her.
Oh, my God.
Whatever. Stacy Keebler, her and Tori had a eggnog fight. Just a minute here.
Okay.
Looks at my page.
Then he
I
looks
decided
completely depressed over there.
Take something from down below.
Mind your own business.
They're like...
Ray Kinsella builds a baseball field
Field
on
of
his
Dreams. Kevin Costner.
Baseball.
James Earl Jones.
If you build it, they will come.
Iowa.
Oh, all right.
You didn't let me finish the question, Brian.
She's right.
Oh, she yells at me. Back in the show, Bryan Alvarez here, Wrestling Observer Live. Filthy Tom Lawler is joining us here today. Big E's favorite wrestler, Filthy Tom Lawler.
That is not.
You got a
Big
shout out
E's.
from him last night.
Yes, I did get a shout out. He did not say I was his
You're
favorite
so
wrestler,
happy.
nor would I believe that I would be.
You know what's funny? Before we get into all this Brock stuff, I do got to say that Big E is awesome. And he's like one of those guys that no one ever says anything bad about. And he's one of those guys where, like, if I heard that, you know, Big E was like a fan of the show and liked the show, I'd be so delighted. I wouldn't say that about like a lot of people, but Big E, it'd be like, yeah, that's cool. I like Big E. But
I've been a fan of Big E since back in the day when he was clapping his hands with chalk doing the 5-count gimmick on NXT. He's been a star for a long time, so even if he doesn't listen, still a fan of his. And you, last week, actually hemmed and hawed and whined about these long pre-shows that WWE puts on. Well, you know what you can do, Brian? You could put on the pre-show for 3 hours. You could put on the post-show for 2 hours after the shows are over, and you can listen to Big E on them because he is the highlight of those shows for me.
yeah, he I don't watch the post or the pre-shows, but, you know, sometimes before the show starts, I turn it on, and he does a good job. Well,
He's probably more of a granny fan.
now we got to, I mean, who isn't? We got to talk about Brock. He's back. They hit that music, and I was astounded. And,
Brock?
yeah,
Brock Lesnar?
it takes a
The
lot.
New York Territory wrestler?
I've been doing this for a long time, you know. 1995 was when I started Figure 4 Weekly. It's been 30 years that I've been being paid to do this. And, you know, not that much surprises me. But golly, I was astounded when they hit that guy's music. And he came out, and the place went wild when he came out.
I used expletives when he came out. The crowd, you could describe them as having used expletives when he came out. I think everybody was shocked. Michael Cole uttered an expletive. Wild moment.
So, you know, this is a ongoing legal case involving Janelle Grant. So, for some of this, I'm just going to try to explain the facts. And then, of course, there's a lot of things that aren't, you know, there's opinions as well. But the Janelle Grant lawsuit, several references to Brock Lesnar. Now, the lawsuit, she filed suit against Vince McMahon, WWE, and John Laurinaitis. So she did not file suit against Brock Lesnar, but he is mentioned in the lawsuit, and not in a positive way. The lawsuit, let's see if I can find it here. McMahon continued his efforts to exploit Ms. Grant, including attempting to traffic her to a WWE star, Brock Lesnar, who would be in New York City for a live event TV taping March of 2022. Upon information and belief, McMahon began to recruit Lesnar for a sexual encounter with Ms. Grant while she was still a coordinator in the legal department. By July of 2021, McMahon informed Ms. Grant that WWE superstar Lesnar would be their next, quote, playmate. On or about July 12th, McMahon directed
Boy,
Ms.
that would have been the ugliest playmate in history.
McMahon directed Ms. Grant to create personalized sexual content for Lesnar. McMahon shared the photos with Lesnar, informed Ms. Grant that, quote, he likes what he sees. On July 21st, McMahon flew and or caused Lesnar to fly on a jet into a local airport and travel into Connecticut for what McMahon described to Ms. Grant as a business dinner, as well as a sexual encounter with Ms. Grant in McMahon's condo. Upon information and belief, the dinner was to discuss Lesnar's continued involvement with WWE. Prior to the business dinner with McMahon, Lesnar made a brief visit to Ms. Grant's building. However, Lesnar did not return to the building for a sexual encounter because he was too intoxicated, and he was taken back to the plane. And there's plenty more in the lawsuit as well. And here's the point. Brock Lesnar has not been on WWE television in 2 years, okay? The last appearance of Brock Lesnar was SummerSlam of 2023, okay? This is SummerSlam of 2025. He's been gone 2 years. Now, they had a plan that involved not this year's Royal Rumble, but the previous year, so a year and a half ago. They had a plan that involved Brock Lesnar at that Royal Rumble. Brock was going to be eliminated by Dominic Mysterio, of all people. And then he was going to destroy him, obviously. And then they were going to do Brock versus Gunther at WrestleMania. Well, this happened. And so he's gone. Okay? So for a year and a half, Brock Lesnar has been persona non grata with WWE. Now, he was not fired. He was not suspended. He just wasn't used. He was being paid the entire time. So that's actually kind of a key because you know how much money they pay this guy? They pay this guy a lot of money, okay?
Millions.
Millions and millions. Yes, he actually was benched, Funk Monk. Brock Lesnar actually was benched, okay? So, he's been benched for a year and a half, and that guy makes a lot of money, all right? So the point is, clearly, he was benched as a result of his name being in this lawsuit, okay? Now, Janelle doesn't claim that I'm not even sure they ever actually met in person. There's no allegations of anything that he physically did to her. It's text messages and that sort of thing. But the lawsuit indicates that there was certainly intent, and it would have happened, she claims, had he not been inebriated and taken back to the plane, or whatever the case may be.
There is also a message from Brock, I believe, purportedly, where he says that he doesn't want to have relations with her because if he did, she'd leave McMahon immediately after.
Yes, there were sarcastic text messages back and forth. I think Vince sent something and he said that's your wheelhouse or something. But the point is, he's in there, and according to her side of the story, there was certainly intent for this to happen, but things occurred that prevented it from happening.
There was so much intent that Vince role played as Brock.
That's also in there. So, point is, he was gone for a year and a half, and it was 100% because of this lawsuit. They did not take this guy off television and pay him for a year and a half for fun. The reason he wasn't there was because of this lawsuit, okay?
Well,
no.
People do a lot of weird things for fun, Brian.
Listen, that's why he wasn't there, is because of this lawsuit. Now, best of my knowledge, I mean, at least like publicly, nothing has changed, okay? But about 2 months ago, he was quietly added to the active roster. And some fans figured this out, that he had been, because like it was brought up, the guy's back on the active roster, and the public thing was like, he's not back. I think they started making merch as well, and I think that they could, at the time, it's true he wasn't back if we're going by the letter, but I mean, obviously he was back once they put him back on the active roster, and then about a month ago, he was cleared by legal. So we got to talk about that after the break, because that is something we got to talk about. Back in a moment, Observer Live. Just a quick note before this free video. If you click like and subscribe, I'd be very thankful. We got a big Elimination Chamber report here. And also Collision from Saturday, which actually was a pretty damn good show in its own right.
I was not told to watch Collision.
Vinny?
I forgot to text him Thursday night. I figured he'd be in bed. I said I'd do it tomorrow. And then Friday I bought a car. I was busy, and I've been forgotten. John comes out, looks into the camera, and says, "There's a vibe in here tonight."
Sure is.
I'll say. Punk's eyes are bugging out of his head. Seth is still there screaming, "Die, die!" And Seth gets his way. Punk dies. John Cena wins. I thought the finish of this was incredible. Great stuff.
God, Travis Scott. Jesus God almighty. This was exactly like when Hogan used to come to the ring, Dennis Rodman trailing him, and Dennis Rodman was like on another planet. He had no idea where he was at, stumbling to the ring. He had basically have to drag him down there. This Travis Scott was on another planet, dude.
Well, the first time he was on the show was on that Raw show. He was smoking a blunt in the audience.
They go from the hug to a shot of Cena's angry heel face, and they cut right to Rock on. And then he kicks him right in the balls. And the crowd freaked out. The John Cena turned heel. Hulk Hogan, he was getting booed before he turned. It was a risk, but, they were getting sick of the guy anyway. The problem with Steve Austin was he was the top babyface, and there was nobody to replace him when he turned. John Cena's been gone forever. He comes back. It's not like he was going to be the top babyface. They got 50 babyfaces. Cody's the biggest babyface they got. There's no risk whatsoever turning John Cena heel. He's 10 times more interesting now. The Cena and Cody feud is 1,000 times more interesting.
Travis hit Cody Rhodes in the face as hard as he could. I bet that sucked.
This was a big deal, and I didn't see it coming.
You guys need to listen to Observer Live on Friday.
No thanks.
Because some dude called in, all bombastic and outrageous.
Do y'all think that John Cena is going to be the one that turns heel and joins The Rock as his champion?
No chance. And I shot him down. I laughed at him.
Wow.
I said it's not going to happen. John Cena's here to sell tickets and merch as a babyface for his last year. He ain't turning heel.
They need to make shirts for John Cena that just say, "Can you see me now?"
Got to apologize to old Dwayne. I thought that guy was out of his mind. He got me. It was awesome. I cannot wait to see where they go here. Back in the show, Bryan Alvarez here, Wrestling Observer Live. Filthy Tom Lawler is joining us here today. So, a month ago, he was cleared by legal. Somebody on the chat here was like, what does that mean, cleared by legal? It means exactly what it sounds like. Legal cleared him to return, and he's back. Prior to that, he wasn't cleared to return, and he was not back. So, this actually is one of the most important parts of the story. Because the question is, what has changed?
Yeah, this could be a sign of things to come.
I mean, I know someone said, it was just time. This is not, it's just time. For whatever reason, 2 months ago, I guess I should say 3 months ago, because 2 months ago he was put on the active roster. For whatever reason, 2.5, 3 months ago, whatever, he was not cleared by legal to return. For whatever reason, it was like, no, this guy, this is not happening. And then suddenly he was cleared. What does that mean? Does that mean that, I mean, there are several things this could mean, okay? If you're a fan of Brock, you want to think positively about him, it's possible that in going through everything, they discovered that, in fact, I don't know. I mean, listen, here's the problem. The text messages were like, they're out there. So it's hard to claim that they're not real, but I don't know. I mean, maybe they found, okay, well, he didn't do anything wrong. I mean, I don't know how, but maybe that's one possibility, okay? Another possibility is they're close enough to a settlement in which everything will be sealed that they figured, okay, well, let's bring him back. Or, I guess the third option, those are really the only two. I mean, it's either, it's some sort of...
I guess they could just not care.
Well, no, because if they didn't care, they never would have taken him out of the Royal Rumble.
Oh, I know
if
that.
If they didn't care, they're not going to pay him for a year and a half, millions and millions of dollars. Like, if they didn't care...
Maybe Trump pardoned him.
No, it's a civil suit, dude. The point is, it appears something happened where legal decided, okay, this guy's clear. Like, everything's okay with this guy. Like, he can come back. What that is, I don't know. But it seems something had to have happened. It's not just, well, it's been long enough or what. Like, something happened. And maybe we'll find out. But here's the thing, like, this is what I don't understand. And, maybe we'll know the answer someday. Maybe we won't. If they felt this thing's going to be settled in the next month or two, okay? So, hey, it'll all be sealed. We'll never hear about it again. She'll take a settlement, whatever. I mean, why do you not wait until that happens to bring him back? Why did you bring him back before that happened? It just... None of this makes any sense to me. Do you understand? It doesn't make any sense to me. Like, they just brought him back. As far as I know, there's been no change.
You are at a loss for words.
You know what? I am at a loss for words. I'm actually at a loss for words. I cannot believe they brought him back. I was absolutely flabbergasted. And here's the thing. People get mad when we discuss this aspect of it, but I'm sorry, this is reality and this is the truth, okay? If this would have happened 5 years ago, fans might have been really upset, sponsors might have pulled out, whatever. But I talked to fans that were in the building. I mean, you all saw it with your own eyes, okay? They hit that guy's music and everybody went wild. And they got on their chairs and they screamed and they went nuts and they went crazy. And, there's a big problem. It's not just in wrestling, but it's all over. This tribalism, And because of where this business is, I'm sorry, but there's a lot of fans that are going to completely overlook all of this. They're going to celebrate that he's back. They're excited about it. They don't care. And, some people are going to say, well, these fans are terrible people, blah, 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 blah. Well, and we've already seen it. The fans that are celebrating his return, they have explained to themselves why it's okay. She never accused him of physically doing anything. He never touched her. I mean, they will find a way where they don't feel like they're terrible people for being surprised that, they're here in the chat right now. He didn't do anything. It says he didn't do anything. Vince offered videos. And, and granted, I don't know, man. I just can't believe they brought him back. It's like, if she dropped him from the suit,
well, he's not a defendant. Dropped him from the suit.
If she just no, but I think when they did the amended suit, I think there were names that weren't in there afterwards for whatever reason.
At first, his name wasn't in there. It was former UFC
Well, yeah,
champion,
but everybody
and
knew
had
immediately
boneheads
who it was.
Going, oh, it was Ronda Rousey. When everybody knew.
I don't know. I was just astounded, and I have No, this person goes, the fans celebrating his return don't know all of this. Actually, dude, I've been online all day. They do know.
Here's what's more alarming to me,
Yes.
Brian. Here's what's more alarming to me is that I was listening to the show you did with Dave last night, and he went through a laundry list of people, of instances from the past, from the current, in which people have done deplorable acts, absolutely heinous, horrendous things, and been brought back by this very company. They've been brought back by other companies in pro wrestling. They've been brought back by other companies in MMA. I am more surprised that anybody is surprised that they did this at the end of the day. You know, I mean, the main face.
I actually was.
The main face of the UFC. Okay, slapped his wife. We have it on camera.
Yeah.
Conor McGregor just got in trouble for sexual assault case. He's on the roster. John Jones gets arrested multiple times. Domestic assault accusations. He's still on the roster. They just don't care.
Well, you're right. I mean, most of them don't care. That is absolutely true. But I was still astounded that they brought him back. I really was.
What are you going to do when Vince,
listen,
what are you going to do when Vince shows up on
Oh my God,
television?
please, no. Listen,
no.
If this thing had been settled, okay? If this thing had been settled, all sides agreed to a settlement, it's sealed, the terms, everything, whatever, and then they brought him back, at that point, I wouldn't have been surprised, okay? I wouldn't have done it, but I wouldn't have been surprised, okay? But nothing having changed, I am surprised. I'm actually really surprised. But, you know, I when it first happened, I was like, man, you know, this place just jumped the shark. But the reality is, you know, it was about 5 seconds I realized, nope, everything is going to go on exactly as it had. And there we go. I will also say this because, you know, there's a big thing on the board about the wrestling media, and some people are actually like, you know, Dave and Bryan should just stop covering WWE altogether. Listen, are you aware? Let's hold on. Let's get out of wrestling media for a second, and let's move on to like real life and world history, bro. If the media is not allowed to cover people that are in, you know, we're going to cover WWE. We're going to review the shows. If matches are good, I'll tell you the matches were good. My job is to report on WWE. If things like this happen, I will report on these things. But the idea that, well, I can't review WrestleMania now, or I can't talk about how great that John Cena match was, that's preposterous, okay? The wrestling media, there's a lot of things the wrestling media does. I just spent 40 minutes talking about Brock. I could probably go about 40 more. But, I mean, the idea that let's not watch Raw tonight. Let's not review Raw. We will no longer watch a review. I mean, that's not how this works.
It would be like, Bryan, we're going to cover World War II right now, but we're not going to cover any of the atrocities
we cannot
from
cover,
either side.
Yes, we can't cover those terrible things. We must not cover the... Yeah. This person wants to know if I'd be surprised if they brought back Velveteen Dream. Well, that's the kind of thing. They haven't. That's why this Brock thing is so astounding to me.
One reason why they're not going to bring Velveteen Dream back in anytime soon is because he doesn't bring in the money. You know what I mean? Brock Lesnar's a lot bigger name. Vince McMahon is a lot bigger name to have on your TV than Velveteen Dream, who was, you know, I guess an NXT star, but I think most of the people have probably forgotten about him at this point.
Well, they did, the press conference, try to throw John Cena under the bus. He had a list of men he wanted to wrestle. We're doing what we can. It's like, come on, brother. You think, what if John Cena says he wants to wrestle Kenny Omega? What if he says he wants to wrestle Hangman Page? You're telling me they're coming in?
Hey,
they're not coming in.
Cena versus the Hulkster.
That's not his call. Dude, John Cena and Tanahashi have wanted that match for a year. You think he asked for Tanahashi? He's just going to... No! Back in a moment, we'll talk whatever that show was. Observer Live. Just a quick note before this free video. If you click like and subscribe, I'd be very thankful. Actually, the most real person on the show, and I felt bad for this guy. And a lot of people have gotten on Bruce Pritchard, but I don't really actually blame Bruce for this.
Bruce did nothing.
No, poor Abyss is the agent for Seth Rollins and CM Punk on the Netflix debut, okay? And the story is that, Bruce Pritchard goes, even though this is Netflix and everybody thinks we have unlimited time, we don't. There is a cutoff here, okay? And so he wants everyone to hit their time cues. And I did see people, on the internet that are like, oh man, what's Bruce talking about? There is no hard out. It's Netflix. You could go all night if you wanted. Listen, guys. If you want to get mad at Bruce for whatever you can, but there is supposed to be a hard out for Netflix.
Does
okay?
somebody think Bruce
I don't know
Pritchard
why
is in control of Netflix?
But the point is, I don't know why. I don't care, but there is. Okay, whatever you want to say. So anyway. Poor Chris Park, Abyss, is the agent for this match. And these two dudes are going long. And as soon as they start going long, Abyss is petrified. And he's trying to tell him to hurry up, and he's trying to tell him what to cut, but at the same time he's like, I'm sorry, Bruce. I'm sorry. They're cutting out the Anaconda Vice. Yeah. He's thinking he's going to get fired on the spot. And, Bruce isn't actually even being really, he's just nothing we can do about it, It's he's it's not like, he's clearly not happy, but it's not like he's mad at Abyss. But he's not going to say anything to the guys either. You can just tell he's just he's quietly stewing because they can't just get this thing done. But man, Chris Park is I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry. They're going to the finish right now, sir. And he's petrified. And then
he turned into Joseph Park.
Oh yeah. And then when it's over, he's like, oh, I'm sorry, sir. We tried to cut as much as we could. And Bruce is like, dude, it's okay. There's nothing we can do about it. But and then he turns to Regal and he's like, yeah, I'm sorry. And Regal goes, it's not your fault, dude. You did your best. Just be happy with what you did. And Chris Park is like, I am. But you could see he's petrified. And I'm like, is this every day of this poor guy's life? Oh my God. I couldn't do this. But I felt so bad for him because he was so worried. And it's not his fault. He's so trying to do his best. And I don't know, man. It was that was a real moment. That was kind of sad to watch, that he was just so worried when he was doing his best, dude. And if you want to get mad at somebody, you can get mad at Punk and Seth Rollins. They're the ones that went long. Back in the show, Bryan Alvarez here. Whoa. Wrestling Observer Live.
Your voice gets SummerSlam.
Listen, we're not going to get through all of the WrestleMania card. I got to call out my enemies. I'm kidding. But I do got to mention a couple of things related to the show. One of which is there's a story that just went up on our front page. Let me find it right here. Yeah, Seth Rollins. He says, I fooled the entire world. And then Becky on Saturday night was celebrating don't believe anything you hear on the internet or whatever. It's dude, we've been talking about this since literally the day after it happened. It was he went down on Saturday night's main event. And, I did immediately say that's real because that's what people told me. It's legit. And, what they had done is they worked a lot of people because they wanted it to get out that it was real. But, by the time we did Observer Radio that night, Dave brought up that John Pollock had been told what they were going to do several days earlier. And it was weird because, and at first, it was okay, we're going to report that John Pollock was told that, but we are being told that he's hurt. So this is weird. And it was about a day later, I got a message from somebody else, and they said, I think what's going on is that his knee. And I don't even know if this part is even true. This might have been what Seth was telling like close friends.
He was moving pretty well.
His knee
Saturday.
was tweaked, but the whole Saturday night's main event from start to finish was all a work. And by Monday, literally by Monday, the Monday after that Saturday night's main event, I mean, we basically told you everything that happened. It was a worked injury on Saturday night's main event. The whole idea is he's going to do a surprise cash-in. It was going to be at SummerSlam. Maybe it will be, maybe it won't. And then, literally the day before SummerSlam on this show, we did predictions, and I said, Seth is going to cash in, and he's going to win the title after CM Punk wins. And that's exactly what happened. So, I mean, I don't know what internet they're talking about, but I think everybody on the internet knew that.
Big telltale sign. They quit mentioning Seth, and they started referring to Braun Breaker as the leader of that group.
Yeah.
For weeks. And
then,
hey, I got a question for you, Brian. You enjoying the show? It's all part of the show.
So then the other thing I got to mention just briefly here is I was pretty irritated this weekend. That Seth Rollins or that CM Punk and Gunther match. I didn't like it at all. I thought that Punk looked terrible in that match. And the thing that really irritates me is like, okay, listen, if you disagreed, fine. Like, I don't care. I don't get hung up on star ratings. I gave it a 1 3/4. Okay? Yeah. And hey, listen, you want me to be honest? I will. I vacillated between should I give this a 1 3/4 or should I give it 2 1/4? Should I give it 2? I mean, it wasn't like I ever considered giving it 4 or 5, but I thought, okay, what should I give this thing? And I didn't even think anyone would even care. It was a funny thing. And so finally, back in the old days, the star ratings, okay? I actually memorized in 1995 what the star ratings were supposed to be, okay?
Nerd.
5 stars. Well, no, because I wanted to rate matches. And if I remembered what each star rating indicated, it was easy. 5 stars was this is a match of the year candidate, okay? Well, it certainly wasn't, all right? You're telling me that of all the matches in 2025, Punk and Gunther should be in the running for match of the year.
Absolutely not.
No. Okay? 4 stars is excellent. An excellent match. I did not watch that and think that was an excellent match. Okay? 3 stars is a good match. A good match. Okay? Listen, if you want to tell me that you watched it and you thought it was a good match, okay, fine. I don't care. Give it 3.5 if you want to. All right? I didn't think it was, especially once we got, I thought Gunther was great. I thought that Punk, I'll get to him in a minute. Then there's 2 stars, okay? 2 stars is average. Average, okay? So I watched the match, and, about 25 minutes in, I'm like, this stuff looks so bad. Am I really going to say, this was an average match? And I waffled, and then finally I was like, no, I just can't. I just gave it a 1 3/4, and I moved on with my life. Then everybody goes nuts, okay? Everybody goes nuts. I never thought people would get angry over my star ratings, but here we are. So what irritated me more than anything else, and now people will know how to irritate me, is everybody jumped on Bryan hates Phil. Oh, he's still angry about Maria. This is 2006, dude. It's listen, if you disagree, that's fine. I don't care. Dave is probably going to give it 4.5 stars. Great. I will not lose a blink of sleep. I don't care. Okay? But I explained in great detail why I gave that rating. And the best you nerds could come up with was I didn't like Phil. Did you listen to why I didn't like the match and what I thought about it? And on top of that, even more irritating is, okay, fine, you don't like my rating. You're going to act like I was the only guy who thought he was terrible in that match? That actually made me mad. I was not the only guy. I even, like, you're one of my friends in this business, Tom, and I have others. And I won't mention any names because it's political and everything. But I was like, dude, do me a favor. Watch this match. Can you tell me if I'm out of my mind? Because, these fans are like, oh, he wasn't blown up at all. He was just selling. He did a great job selling. He's in great shape. And I was like, hold on a second, dude. I wrestled for a long time, okay? So I'm not going to go to fans. I'm going to go to other wrestlers. I'm going to say, watch this match. And like, dude, tell me if I'm crazy. If I'm crazy, fine. I don't care. But like, watch it and tell me if I'm crazy, okay?
I didn't like the match.
Oh, now you're going to get it. But the point is, I had people watch it. And, listen, I'm an honest guy. Most of them were like, I think you maybe went a little low. But nobody that I showed that to was like, oh, he was just selling. And you way underrated that match. To a person, they were like, I think something was wrong with him. Like, he went into it with an illness, or like he had the flu,
Bryan.
or something. What? What's your take?
Can I just make a point about the match
Go
itself?
for it.
Okay. We are led to believe over the last couple of years that Gunther is the pinnacle. He's the one of, besides Cody Rhodes, okay, he is the best wrestler. He is the best technical wrestler on this planet. CM Punk's whole gimmick is that he is the best in the world. They talk about it all the time. It's on his trunks, right? That's been his moniker for years. The way this match was laid out and executed, at no point during the match did I ever think that CM Punk was the best in the world, because he got beat up for 95% of it. And the only time that he made a comeback was when Gunther, for some uncharacteristic, God knows why, unknown reason besides to get it done in this match, walked over and stood on top of the announce table and started playing to the crowd. And CM Punk tripped him, and he fell face first. He freaked out, got in the ring, and then I'm expecting, okay, this is Punk's big Hulk Hogan, Hulk up comeback moment to get the big win. And Gunther went in the corner. Punk laid in some of the most atrocious left jabs I have ever seen in my life. Duke Rufus would puke if he saw these punches. He hit an elbow drop off the top, went for the GTS, got countered, hit 2 GTSs, and got the win. At no point at the end of that or during the match itself did I come away thinking that guy, the best in the world, as they called him after the match, is the best wrestler in the world.
Are you angry about Maria? What's your problem with Phil?
I think CM Punk is a great wrestler. I enjoy watching him on Raw. I did not like this match.
Yeah, and you know what's irritating is people like to ignore all the times I actually talk about what a great job Punk did. So they can fixate on one match where I thought he was terrible and bring up the, oh, you don't like Phil, whatever. Bro, you know what a better match was than this one? You know where he was way better than he was in this match? When he had a match with John Cena as a heel. His match with Cena, he was miles better than this. He had one of the best matches with John Cena during John Cena's horrific heel run. Anybody want to bring that up? No. It's only, Bryan hates Phil, so he thought this astoundingly great match was terrible. No, watch the match again, okay? I swear to you, someday, I just know this is going to happen because it happens all the time. There's going to be a WWE Unreal 2, and they're going to follow, everybody through SummerSlam, and we're going to find out that, CM Punk had COVID, or he had something, and that, he was deathly ill walking down the aisle. Did you watch him walk down the aisle, guys? You're
Bryan?
all on me. Did you watch him walk down the aisle? Did you watch him in the first 2 minutes of this match when they're exchanging holds and he's huffing and puffing? Did you watch this with your eyes, guys? What are we doing here?
I think he got too tan.
He got too tan?
he was like a serious shade of orange that I don't remember him seeing at any point in his career. So
Now-
he dried himself out like beef jerky.
I don't want to waste time, and I want to make sure we get this in. John Cena, bro, if you want to know why John Cena was John Cena, one of the biggest stars in WWE history, whatever they call him, the unseen 70. You want to know why John Cena was John Cena? Because of like what I saw on Sunday night. This was, no joke, the best John Cena performance. Like people went back, and the best they could find was like, it was like 2016 or 2017 with AJ Styles. Who, think about AJ Styles in like 2016, 2017. That was the last time. But you know what? This guy has had a horrible run. You know, he talks about how, I mean, he even talked about it on Unreal. He's like, you know, I want to do this last run, but I can't do anymore. I can't do this anymore. My body can't do it. You know, my SI joint hurts getting up from a chair. Like, this guy is ravaged, and we've all seen it in the last 4 or 5 months since he came back. But you know what? It was his last championship match of his career in front of 50,000 people in the main event of SummerSlam. He was never doing something like this again. Like, this is it, dude. Not even like WrestleMania where you're like winning the title and then you got to defend it and do some other stuff. Like, this is it. This was his final championship match ever. And that guy showed why he was John Cena. He went in there and had his best performance in a decade. And, you know, do I have to find that old saying again? I'm not as good as I once was, but once I can be as good as I ever was. He did that. Back in a moment, Observer Live. Just a quick note before this free video. If you click like and subscribe, I'd be very thankful.
It's Bryan Alvarez and Big Vinny V, and we hope that you enjoy the show.
Should I do one more time? Huh? I played the entire song before realizing I had not hit record.
I figured as much.
So I had to start the entire show over again. Uh-oh. Is my internet down? My internet died.
Yeah.
All right. Stand by, everybody. Hi, everybody. We're back. And we're just gonna barrel on through, right, Vinny? What do we have on that Facebook thing? Now it says no audio. Jared, do we have audio?
I can hear you.
I can hear you.
Honestly, what is going on?
Yeah, we just watched a movie
What
about
is
this.
up with my internet? Lost everybody again. Curry says no problems with the Big Vinny V show.
His words.
Not since the first one.
I was gonna say the very
There have
first
been
one was a
Many
disaster.
problems. Many
Yes.
problems.
We've had quite a few.
Yeah, and you know what I do? I just barrel on through.
Brian.
Barrel on through should be the name of this show. What the hell's going on this week? Like every single show, something goes terribly wrong. Today, I didn't have the music set to go at first. Then I got it set to go, but I forgot to hit record. Finally, I hit record and got the song going right. Golly. One disaster after another here. We're starting 15 minutes late. I still can't find the video, Jared. Is it up? Where is everything? Granny's joining us here today via phone. We cannot connect our audio or video. It's a blank screen. I don't know what's going on. What are we doing? Should we just quit today? I don't know what the problem is, Granny. I don't know how to fix it. I don't know what's going on. We still have no video. I got a question. Where's the goddamn video at?
You gotta fire Jared.
All right, now it's up. Hello, everybody.
This is the one you told me to do last week, Undertaker plus Psycho Kid.
Okay.
Are you done laughing?
Yeah, we're
Yes,
done.
Yes, Granny, I apologize.
There'll be more.
Then Psycho Sid comes out with blonde curly hair. Hard to pull. Lasts a while before he gets out of it. I had to give that a 10.
A 10.
Oh, wow.
Undertaker won a match and a belt. That's a 10 on the Granny scale.
Victor is still at it more than ever this week, as far as the soaps go.
Hell of a report, Granny.
All right.
That was a 10 on the Granny soap opera report scale.
That's just a minute.
Jared, you're forgiven. Instead of suffering through the YouTube chat, click like and subscribe.
Casting Network.
Oh, my friends in the YouTube chat. This guy he goes, I wonder how many wrestling fans could pass the presidential fitness test. Hey, you know what? I could tell you something for sure. YouTube chat. Anybody who watched that CM Punk match with Gunther and concluded that CM Punk was in great shape, you would fail the presidential fitness test. Guaranteed. I think that's the one thing that we could all agree on, was that, actually, apparently we can't. Apparently we can't. He looked great. He looked great. Hey.
You going to make it, buddy?
Well, you know, I'm not sure. It's been... Oh, man. What a 24 hours it's been. What a 24 hours it's been.
So news-filled that we didn't even get to the results of WrestleMania.
Does anyone
for
not
2
know?
nights.
Actually, yeah. That's another story. Yeah, we sent out an email this morning, and somebody got really mad that we'd spoiled WrestleMania. This is Monday morning.
Oh, my Lord.
It's like, you don't know what happened at WrestleMania on Monday morning? You're trying to stay in the dark? What? But he was mad.
I had a friend yesterday watching who didn't realize that Cena was the champion since WrestleMania. So
I guess
don't be surprised by anybody.
I'm not surprised by anything after yesterday. You should all know that. I'll be back later on tonight with Dave. Vinny and I were up all this weekend after every show. Dave and I were up after every show. Yeah, we got a lot coming up, so check it out.
Oh my God, it's the greatest thing ever.
You're such a gimmick. We'll talk to you next time. Wrestling Observer Live.